Okay, good morning class. We are on to mathematics for grade 8 and this is the MAMU experience. You're on to MAMU with Jarvis and we'll be handling something rather interesting this morning. A quick reminder here that for quite a while we've not been able to take on a number of videos owing to my kind of schedule lately, but I'm happy to be back once again to be able to take on videos that can help you improve or better still give you an unforgettable mathematics experience. We're on to the aspect of math today that concerns algebra, arguably my favorite for now. Favorite because students have a great deal of difficulties handling topics relating to algebra. So this morning we'll be looking at an aspect of algebra that has to do with grade 8 work. You can also scale this to grade 10, to grade 9. In fact, anybody in senior secondary will find this topic, or should I say anybody in senior secondary or secondary will find this topic rather interesting. So what is it all about? It is called solving equations by balancing method. To put in perspective what we are doing this morning, it is important to understand that when we talk about algebra, we're concerned with two key ideas. So let's look at them. Algebra as in expressions and algebra as in equations. So we're concerned with expressions and equations. Interesting enough, the topic we're treating now pertains to equations because we can only talk about a balance. The concept of balance exists when we imagine a right hand balancing out or taking care of what's happening on the left hand. Like the game of tug of war. Someone is pulling in this direction and pulling, other person is pulling in the other direction. Movement will not be established, or should I say movement is only established when one side is stronger than the other side. But if they are perfectly balanced, what we experience is that the pull remains stationary. So when we're talking about solving, we're talking about equations, we are concerned with statements that are two-sided statements. Let's look at this. I could say A is equal to B. This is an equation. A equal to B. There is a left-hand side being equal to a right-hand side. I can also say X equal to 2. There is a left-hand side also here, and there's also a right-hand side. Beyond having a left-hand side equal to a right-hand side, something is also very interesting about an equation. If you look at A being equal to B, it means that A is the same value as B and B is the same value as what? A. Now, that's in this example. Now, if I say X is equal to 2, what does that mean? It means that the unknown X would have a definite value, and that definite value, according to this condition I have here, will be 2. So, in drawing a conclusion here, one of the key things an equation helps us to establish, especially when the equation is a linear equation, is to give a definite value to a letter. So we can add here and say that an unknown is equal to a known, or we can say a letter is equal to a number. So all of these variants, or all of these on the board, will help us to understand the matter of equations. But remember, we're not just treating equation, we are trying to handle a special technique, and we'll go straight to that technique shortly. Okay, our textbook of reference is the New General Mathematics. I've chosen to use New General Mathematics for the course of this topic. And Book 2, JS2, Grade 8. And we'll go straight to exercise 13A. And that will be on page 101 of our textbook. Remember, we said that our focal point in this topic is to try to handle solving equations, linear equations, by using the technique called balancing method. A note of caution here, you really want to pay attention to this because it's one area of algebra students run away from. I won't tell you that it doesn't involve work, it is work. And one of the things this topic tries to test is your level of personal discipline. You need to be very disciplined to use this technique. You need to be very disciplined to take this technique. So I will solve and I will give you the ideas as they come, which is always the way I like to handle mathematical problems. I give you the ideas as they come. If I give you all the ideas at once, you may not appreciate it. But if I take them step by step and introduce the ideas as they come, it becomes easy for you to remember them. So I'll take question 1. Question 1 says 3x minus 8 is equal to 10. 3x minus 8 is equal to 10. Notice something here. In solving this problem, for every equation, there is a standard rule. The unknown must be on the left-hand side, and the known must be on the right-hand side. The unknown must be on the left-hand side, and the known must be on the left-hand side. For purpose of simplicity, I would say the letter must be on the left-hand side, and the numbers must be on the right-hand side. So the objective is to make the letter to be equal to the number. So how do you go about this? If you look at this question, we do not need negative 8 here by the rule I've just talked about. So you need to look for a way to move negative 8 out of here. If you remember some of my videos, I've talked about the concept of antonym. The opposite of minus is plus. The opposite of a negative number is what? A positive number. So what you need to do is to add 8 here. When you add 8 here, it will eliminate this 8 from here. But because you are using balancing technique, you must also add 8 to the other side. What you do, which brings us to the second rule for solving equations by balancing method. What you do to the right hand side, you must also do to the left hand side. So we don't need negative 8 here. So what do? We will add 8 here and we will add 8 to this part. So at this point, we're going to have 3x equal to what? 18. Notice that these two numbers are the same. This is positive, this is negative. It's just like saying 8 minus 8, and that will be what? 0. By balancing technique, you've gotten to this point. What you need to do next is to divide both sides by the coefficients. And what's the coefficient of x here? It is what? 3. Take note of something here again. What is a coefficient? A lot of us may have forgotten that. A coefficient is a number that multiplies an unknown, or a number that tells us how many times the unknown is being added. If I say 3x, it will mean x plus x plus x, or it will mean what? 3 times x. So x is added 3 times, or 3 is multiplied by x to get what? 3x. This you can see in my grade 7 videos on algebra. So I want you to go back and look for my video on YouTube, grade 7 algebra, introduction to algebra, and I did a very, very extensive job there. If you have any issues with coefficients, go to that video and you will discover that it's nothing but a walkover. Alright, with that settled, the next thing you do is to cancel out. You do what? You cancel out. 3 can cancel 3 and you have what here? X equal to what? 3 can cancel 18 and you get what? 6. And your answer becomes x equal to 6. Take note of something here. To do well in this topic, you need to have a strong knowledge of your factors and multiples. Your factors and your multiples become something that is very important for you here. So that's the solution to that problem, and we'll take a few others and see how well we have fared. Okay, we have 2x plus 5 equal to 17. The first thing you do is to identify what don't you need on your left hand side. We don't need a number because recall we said that it is letter equal to number. So I don't need a number here. What is this number? It is what? Plus 5. So I need to do what? Subtract 5 from it. And what I do to left hand side, I must do to right hand side. And that will be 2x equal to what? 12. And then I'll divide both sides by 2, and I'll have x equal to 6. So that's how that one is solved. So here we have 4x minus 1 equal to what? 1. So, what don't we need on the left hand side? Negative 1. So we will say, we will add 1 to both sides. That's why it's called balancing. Balancing means that what you are doing to the left hand side, you must do to the right hand side. So once you identify the problem, look for the opposite and do that to both sides. The problem is negative 1. So I'll need to do what? Add 1. The opposite of negative 1 is what? 1. I talked about the concept of antonyms. And that will mean that 4x will be equal to 2. Now, I will divide both sides by 4. Why am I dividing both sides by 4? Because the objective is to make the coefficient of x to be what? 1. So now I'll be dividing both sides by 4. And x will now be equal to what? 1 over 2. Settled. So 2 go here, 2 go here, 1. And as such, that one becomes x equal to 1 over 2. Alright, we have another question on the board that says 16 equal to 7x plus 2. 16 equal to 7x plus 2. How do we solve this? How are we going to solve this? Remember we said that in solving equations, especially linear equations, the unknown is kept on the left hand side and the known is on the right hand side. If you watch carefully here, the unknown is on the right hand side and the known is on the left hand side and also on the right hand side. So at this point we need to introduce another technique. I don't know what the mathematical world call it, but for years I've been teaching maths. I call it the concept of rewriting. So let me take pains to explain what it means to rewrite. To rewrite is to write your left hand as your right hand and your right hand as your left hand. And the objective why you're doing this is because we want to ensure that the unknown is kept on the left hand side, which is what we said when we started. So with that, it will mean that this will be 7x plus 2. My right hand is now written as my right hand is now written as my left hand, and my left hand is now written as my right hand. Remember that for an equation, if the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, if I write my left hand as my right hand and write my right hand as my left hand, I have done nothing. It's the same. No harm is done. So with this done, I can continue from here by reverting to previous ideas I've gotten. I have plus 2 here. I don't need it here. So what do? I need to remove it. And in removing, what I am doing to the left hand side, I must also do that to the right hand side. So here will be 7x plus 2. Remove 2 from both sides. Remember the objective of removing 2. We do not want to have the left hand side to have a known value or a number. So this will mean that 7x will now be equal to what? 16 minus 2 will give us what? 14. And then at this point, we'll divide both sides by 2. By 7, sorry about that. And what do we have? always take pains to cancel. This we cancel this, write it out. As you think of an idea, take care of that idea immediately. Equal to what? 14 divided by 7. 7 going to here 1, because 7 is a multiple, or rather 14 is a multiple of what? 7. 7 going to here 1, 7 to here will be what? 2. And that will be what? 2. So x will then be equal to 2 for this problem. Okay, so we've been able to use the first 4 examples in exercise 13A to handle, or the first 4 questions in exercise 13A to treat the matter of the introductory aspect of balancing, of solving equations using balancing technique. Now, what have we achieved? One of the achievements we've made is that the unknown or the letters are always kept on the left-hand side, and the numbers or the known are kept on the right-hand side. That's the first thing we've achieved. The next important achievement we have made is to note that whatever you are doing on the left-hand side must be the opposite of what you want to take care of. For instance, if I had positive 2 on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, and I want to remove it, I would need to use a negative. And that must be done on what? Both sides. Alright, so that's settled. We go to another idea that says dealing with linear equations involving unknowns on both sides. Now, when we write this, it may be a little misleading. The point here is that the unknowns must be the same. So maybe I should put that as a caveat. The unknown must, or the unknowns must be the same letter. The unknown must be the same letter. Because you're in grade 8, and for those, just because of the nature of the introductory nature of this aspect, the letters must be the same. Alright, so with that said, we will go to exercise 13B of our textbook, and we will take questions from there to drive home this point. Alright, so exercise 13B, and then we'll look at question number 1. Okay, we'll start from question number 10, because the questions from number 1 to 9 are questions that are trying to reinforce what you should already have known or been taught. Okay, so the question there says 20 minus 2t equal to 3t. I hope I got that right. 20 minus 2t equal to 3t. Right? Alright. If you're using New General Mathematics, we are now on page 102 for purpose of clarity. And this is the question we'll be trying to handle. 20 minus 2t equal to 3t. Now, we have unknowns here and here. We have negative 2t here, and we have 3t here. So, how do we go about solving this? Remember, we had said that the unknown is always kept on the left-hand side, and the known is always kept on the right-hand side. Okay, so we have 20 minus 2t equal to 3t. So what do? We compare the unknowns to confirm which is bigger. We compare the unknowns to confirm which is bigger. Now, as an added rule, all negative numbers cannot be greater than any positive number. All negative numbers cannot be greater than any positive number. And then, if you look at this again, this is what will inform which of the term will be written on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side, or the right decision to take. So if you look at this now, 3 is bigger and better than negative 2. If I have 3 naira and somebody is owing 2 naira, no matter how you look at it, the man who has something, that's why the English people will say, a bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush or in the forest. Why? Because that thing you have is more valuable. That's what is playing out here. This positive is better than this negative. So you would have to rewrite. And what is influencing your decision to rewrite? It is the fact that this is better than this. So if we now know that this is better than this, we will now do what? Rewrite. So this becomes what? 3t equal to what? 20 minus 2t. Once we have done this, we will now do the next thing. We don't need this 2t here because we have said that all the unknowns must be on the left hand side. How do you remove a negative? You add. If you are owing somebody money, you pay your debts. So we are going to pay our debt. We are owing 2 naira. We are going to pay the 2 naira now. So this becomes what? 3t plus 2t equal to 20 minus 2t plus 2t. Remember that what you do to left hand side, you must do to right hand side. So with that settled, this becomes what? 5t equal to what? 20. Remember that when you add 2t to negative 2t, it will turn that to what? 0. Once you are paid your debt, nobody will disturb you again. So you divide both sides by 5. What happens when you share 20 things among 5 persons? Each person will get what? Good. We'll get 4. Thank you for your sign language. We'll get 4. So the answer becomes t equal to what? 4. Mathematics is very real. It's so real. It's so real. And we in MAMU, we try to help you to see it as a real topic. Alright? Alright, 5. You have 5n. You discover that the 12th position is in order. But I'm seeing a negative n here. I don't need negative n on the left hand side. I mean on the right hand side. I need it on the left hand side. I have 5n which is only on the right hand side. The next thing now is my decision of what to do will be based on comparing this. And I said earlier, no negative number is better than a positive number. So if you have gotten that idea, it means that 5n, we need to add n to both sides. By doing that, we'll be able to take care of what? This negative n we are seeing on the right hand side that we don't want there. And as such, 6n will now be equal to what? 12. And we'll divide both sides by 6. And our answer n will equal to what? 2. 6 go here 1, 6 go here 1, 6 go here 1, 6 go here 2. So n will be equal to what? 2. And that solves that question. Now, we have the next question on the board. And if you watch, what you notice now is this. We have a letter term and a number term. On the left hand side, we have a letter term and a number term on the right hand side. So what do we do? Now, order is very important here. Whenever you have terms arranged such that you have number letter on both sides, your priority is letter first. Your priority is what? Letter first. So we go to the board, look at. I will then compare. I will deal with the letter by comparing 5a and 2a. I know that 5 is bigger than what? 2. So the order I have here is in order. So I will now need to remove this 2a. I don't want this letter on this part because this is not the part where I should have letter. So I'll come here, I'll have 5a minus 2a plus 6. I'll remove 2a from here. Plus what? 20. At this point, I will subtract these 2. And that will give me what? 3a plus 6 equal to what? 20. After you have done that, you then go ahead to take the next step. This balancing technique is done step by step. I want to beg you, don't be in a hurry when you're handling balancing technique. Take it one step at a time. Don't rush. Don't rush. It is in taking it step by step that you build the understanding of the concepts. So the next thing you want to do here now is this. You have 3a plus 6 equal to 20. I don't need 6 here. So what do? I will remove 6 from both sides. I don't need 6. I have to offload it. I have something I don't need. I remove it. So how do I remove it? What I do to the left hand side, I must do to right hand side. So 3a will be equal to what? 14. The next thing I do, I divide both sides by the coefficient of a. And a will be equal to 14 over 3. Now, I want to sound a note of caution here. When you get to this point, please don't bother changing your answer to mixed number. Don't bother. Just keep your answer as an improper fraction. In this aspect of mathematics, we are not testing how well you can convert to mixed numbers. No, that's not what we are testing. We're testing your ability to obtain a specific value of a or x or the unknown by dividing both sides by the coefficient of the unknown. Alright. So, in handling question 19 rather, the first thing we need to do is to rewrite. But the big question is, why are you rewriting? In this question, remember we said that we have the unknown we need to have the unknown on the left hand side, and we need to have the known on the right hand side. Letter equal to number. But if you watch carefully, the letter on the right hand side is bigger than the letter on the right hand side is bigger than the letter on the left hand side. So, how do we know that? We know that the positive number is always bigger than the negative number. It is based on this we are rewriting. Always know the reason why you need to rewrite. So this will be what? 2f plus 4 equal to 18 minus 5f. That's done. The next thing you want to do is to take care of what? The right hand side, which is what? Negative 5f. And to take care of your debt, you must pay it. What I say? To take care of your debt, you must do what? Pay it. So how do we pay it? We pay by ensuring that we do what we are doing to the right hand side to the left hand side. So this becomes what? 2f plus 5f plus 4 equal to 18 minus 5f plus 5f. Are we seeing that? So this removes this part of it. You have paid your debt, so you don't have any business with the debt. You can go to your house and rest. Time when you come to knock on your door. And with that, you have what? 7f plus 4 equal to what? 18. We have taken care of the unknown. Now we have something here we don't need on the left hand side. What is that? 4. So we need to look for a way to move it away. It's an average. It's something we don't need here. So we need to do what? We remove it. So we subtract. This will be 7f plus 4 minus 4 equal to 18 minus 4. And now will be what? 7f equal to 14. At this point, we divide both sides by what? 7. And f will be equal to what? 2. And this becomes the answer to this question. Now, as you begin to grow in stamina, you can actually do all of them together. In our next class, I'll take some examples where I'll try to teach you how to do everything at once. There are students who can actually do everything at once. I'll teach you how to do that. If you can do that, it works perfectly well. It works perfectly well. It will help you save your turnaround time for solving the problem. Alright, so that's the much we can take from our Mamu with Jarvis N today in mathematics. Remember, the topic we've treated had been solving quadratic equation. Solving equation. It's a linear equation. Because when we say quadratic, wow, it's way above your level for now. So solving equations, linear equations, using the technique of what? Balancing method. It's a slow, sometimes demanding process, but if you can do it, it will increase the rate at which you are able to solve problems. So I'll leave you for now. Do well to watch other videos from my channel and make sure you subscribe because more videos will be hitting you regularly from now. From me at the Mamu end, I will say it's Mamu with Jarvis signing out. Thank you very much.